Your girlfriend is overweight, and we are tired of seeing her every night because you are too much of a coward to tell her she cannot come. Let me know how this works out. Story 1. In my experience, after the guy's only conversation, you will just start seeing less and less of him. He will drift away from the group to hang out with his girlfriend. It happens in every group of guys. Story 2. Next time you invite him, make it clear that it's no ladies tonight, just boys. If he still brings her, then talk to him afterwards like, what happened? It was supposed to be just boys tonight. We like her, but we feel like we never get to see you anymore. The usual. Next thing you know, he's posting on Reddit, ask women about how to tell my girlfriend that she can't come to my boys' night hangouts anymore. Story 3. This would actually be made a lot easier if more people in the group have girlfriends or wives. If all of you are single, he might get upset and turn it on you. Story 4. I know I'm a girl here, so maybe I should just stay quiet, but I kind of take a different view of it than most responses here. If there hasn't been any communication that the group is just for guys, or that she isn't invited, you can't really be mad at this point that he assumed it's fine to bring her. Partners being automatically invited or not seems like something that varies by groups. In my boyfriend's circle, any invite he gets, I'm silently assumed to be coming as well. If I don't, for whatever reason, he gets questioned about why I'm not there. That's just how they are. In my group of friends, partners don't automatically come. If someone, including me, wants their partner to hang as well, we ask beforehand. It would be weird to just assume they're coming. If he's been bringing her along for months and no one has said anything, he probably thinks you're fine with it. This is on you guys, in my opinion. Just communicate instead of silently stewing. Story 5. This exact scenario destroyed my childhood friend circle. My best friend used to bring his girlfriend to any and every event we had, nights out, cinema, hanging around at someone's house, etc. She made all the guys uncomfortable, and my friend was completely oblivious to this. I lived out of town at the time, and I used to get messages from the guys asking if I was coming home that weekend so we could hang out. They soon started saying, don't tell my best friend I was coming back, or he'd bring his girlfriend. I couldn't do that to him, but I was walking a tightrope in keeping the gang happy. I soon started getting messages from my best friend saying he felt ostracized, unwelcome, like the guys were avoiding him, and he didn't know why. He sounded really upset, depressed even. I knew why, of course. They were giving him the cold shoulder because they didn't want him bringing his girlfriend along. As much as I love my friends, they're all working-class roughnecks. Talking about things is not what they do. I didn't want to take sides among my friends, but I was constantly dropping what I thought were obvious hints to my friend, but they went over his head. So it carried on. On the one hand, the guys would always add, don't tell best friend, if I was coming back and they wanted to go out. And my best friend continued to feel more upset and isolated. I tried telling them, hey, maybe you should just tell him how you feel about his girlfriend? Nah, don't want to cause trouble, they'd say. I told them it was already causing trouble and my best friend was really down about it. Well, one night my best friend and I were both drunk and chatting via Messenger. He brought up again how isolated and depressed he felt because of our friends, and he didn't know why. Stupid me or not? I decided to tell him. His girlfriend made the lads feel uncomfortable, and they were avoiding him because they didn't want him to bring his girlfriend to everything we did. He was furious. I tried placating him by explaining they're just poor communicators. I suggested he be proactive, get in touch with them and suggest a night out, explicitly saying he wasn't going to bring his girlfriend. I told him not to be angry with them, not to bring up what I told him, and to try and understand what their gripe was. A week later, we're all on a night out. Things seem a little strained and awkward, but the guys appear to be slowly returning to normal. Out of the blue, my best friend says it. So, Vizananis says you've all got a problem with me? A problem with me bringing my girlfriend out with us? I die a little inside. There's angry denials and I get some dirty looks. They eventually end up taking off, leaving my best friend and I alone in the pub. We were both black sheep after that, and then everyone just drifted apart. That was almost 10 years ago. OP, I'd say try starting off by emphasizing guys only. If anyone else has a lady, so your friend doesn't feel singled out. If you have a problem with his girlfriend, consider just being honest and upfront with your friend. Don't let resentment against your friend's girlfriend fester, or what happened to us might happen to you. Story 6. See, my group of friends doesn't really have this problem because the one who does have a girlfriend is really cool to hang out with. Some of us even go do stuff with just her sometimes. Story 7. I don't know how everyone else's friend groups work, but in mine, we just straight up say things about each other if it's the truth. So I guess you should try that. Bro, stop bringing your girlfriend. It's annoying all of us. Now, your friend might not be the problem. Maybe his girlfriend makes him take her with him, in which case your best option is to panic. You either choose to put up with her or straight up stop hanging out with him. Story 8. Is it known that it's specifically a guys-only event? Or is everyone else just single, so it's uncomfortable? I do everything with my wife. She's my best friend. So if someone specifically told me not to bring my wife, I'd be like, bye for said event. But if someone planned an event and called it guys only, I may consider going by myself. I probably wouldn't, but at least I'd know the expectations. My wife and I hang out with people who are either couples or don't care if it's the two of us. Then again, we are pretty entertaining together. I don't know how she gets along with your friends. People are people. I don't see the need to hang out with a certain gendered group. Some girls are annoying, some guys are annoying, but if my wife's there, I at least don't have to be annoyed by her. Story 9. You could just tell him, hey, we really like, insert girlfriend's name here, but tonight we'd like it to just be us guys. If he can't come without her, like she won't let him, that's a different conversation. Story 10. Depends on the nature of the guy's event. The fact that he brings her along signals to you that he considers them, him and her, to be a package deal. Now, if the event you are referring to is something clearly for guys only and everyone else doesn't bring their significant others, I can see the problem and think you should just tell him. However, if the rest of you are single or in not very serious relationships, what you are asking is for him to consider his significant other to not be a part of him. That's immature and insecure behavior from you. If he really is your buddy, then don't try to disrupt his new relationship just because you don't want the group dynamics to change. It will change. People grow up and develop other interests in life. By forcing him to choose, you will alienate a friend just because he got serious about someone before you found someone serious. If you all have significant others and leave them at home, just tell him. If you are single and don't like a significant other suddenly changing the group dynamic, grow up. Story 11. You have no idea of the magnitude of this thing. If she is allowed to infiltrate this world, then George Costanza as you know him ceases to exist. You see, right now I have relationship George, but there is also independent George. A George, divided against itself, cannot stand. Costanza. Story 12. Say it straight up. It's a guy's night. We can do couples night another night. I had a guy try to bring his girlfriend to a bachelor party. I didn't even see her in the group chat. She shot down an idea in the chat, and that's when I noticed her in there. I lost my collective patience with both of them. Him for trying to bring a girl again to a guy's night. Her for criticizing plans as if she has any say in a night that doesn't concern her. They both didn't come to the bachelor party, and we are all better for it. Story 13. Well, I used to be that friend who brought his girlfriend everywhere, and I had no clue that the guys were uncomfortable with it. I just thought they liked her because they were nice to her. One day, a really good friend of mine came up to me and told me that the guys were uncomfortable with my girlfriend being there. It's not that they didn't like her. He explained that it's difficult to be themselves with my girlfriend around. I completely understood this and had a chat with my girlfriend, telling her that she couldn't come to every guy's event as the guys were uncomfortable. One of the guys, who was really good friends with her, had a little chat with her and explained more of the same. My girlfriend understood this and only hung out when other girlfriends were there. So, I suggest you talk to her and tell her that it is difficult for the guys to enjoy themselves when there is only one lady present and that she can hang out when a few more women are present. Story 14. A friend of mine used to bring his girlfriend along all the time. The group used to get annoyed at her tendencies to cause drama or stop my friend, her boyfriend, from doing things. It turns out she was very manipulative, making it hard for him to tell her that the group, myself and the other guys, didn't like her and that we were his friends, not hers. His girlfriend had a hard time making and keeping female friends, so she was pretty lonely. She saw her boyfriend's friends as her own, which made it very hard for us to not invite her without hurting her feelings. You can tell your friend directly, but be aware there could be underlying reasons why she's always present. If she's the one forcing herself into these social events and not taking no for an answer, it's probably your friend just going with the flow and being easy by allowing her. Story 15. Why don't you want her at the event? If it's because she is an annoying person or some other reason, tell him what your reason is specifically. Maybe they can work on the behavior. If she's cool to hang out with, and you just don't want her there because she's a girl and you want your guys' night, you should just get over it. There are very few activities that can't be enjoyed just as fully with a mixed-gender party as a single-gender party. Story 16. How to tell a close friend that bringing his girlfriend to every guy's event is starting to annoy the group just a little. Hey buddy, you bringing your girlfriend to every guy's event is starting to annoy the group just a little. Story 17. Tell them both. Regardless of how he says it to her, it could cause a fight and mistrust. If it comes from you or the entire group in a nice and sweet way with provisions for her to attend some guys' time with you, it will go much smoother for all. Story 18. Honesty would be best, but there's a little bit of a delicate vibe. So I respect wanting to do it with grace. I see a lot of people in the thread like, he just wants to spend time with her. Boys only, are you 12? I think it's more about people getting to be themselves in a group they feel comfortable with. I've got a mixed sex group where nobody is dating each other within it, but we regularly have hangouts where it's just the group only. No significant others allowed. Because to be honest, if someone's significant other doesn't slide exactly perfectly into the vibe, we don't want them there. Leave him or her at home. If you don't do that, you will stop getting invites. Rest in peace. None of us want to manage our behavior around someone we don't have that level of comfort with. If he's insisting she come, he needs to wake up and recognize what's not okay in the group setting. And if she's forcing herself into the night, she's got to cut that out. Guys' night is, in the real world, few and far between. They can separate at the hip for one night like adults. Story 19. It sounds like more than just a little, but yeah, tell him just a little and see how he reacts. But keep in mind, if it is anything like what happened in my situation, it didn't change. Then they got married and still do everything together, so we, as a collective, just accepted you can't have one without the other. Story 20. Farts are your friend in this situation. Everyone gets one of those huge gallon-sized pork and beans cans and eats it for however many meals it takes them to finish it the days preceding the get-together. I doubt she will want to come. Story 21. I am now in my 30s and I was always the leader in our group to organize any guys' nights, but I have given up on it now basically just because all the other wives have an issue with guys' nights and they feel left out. I hate to say it, but most guys are not themselves in front of the guys when their significant others are around. I do not mean it in a bad way, but an example would be one of us who is much funnier, cracks lots of jokes, and is the guy I remember from years ago. However, when his significant other is there, he is way more reserved. Story 22. Just tell him. If he picks his girl over the boys, forget him. One thing you shouldn't do is change how you're acting because she's there. One of my friends once stopped bringing his girl because she believed I was difficult when I refused to let her talk to me disrespectfully. Sometimes just having a backbone fixes everything. Story 23. Hey bud, I get that you really love to include your girlfriend in your life, and I support that. However, some of these outings aren't really intended to be couples hangouts. They're more of a guy's time, so maybe try to have that conversation at home between now and next time, and we can find some time to do a couples or bring your lady night at other times. By telling him directly. Story 24. I don't know how old you are, but my buddies sort of went through the same thing. They have board game night every Saturday. Some started getting older, wives or girlfriends, etc. Everyone brings their significant other, and the women go do their own thing or hang out. Story 25. Next time you plan an event, just say, guys only, no significant others, and not make anything of it. Say it casually and move on. And that's it. It's on him if he wants to make it weird. Story 26. My wife is one of the guys. She has been since I started dating her 45 years ago. She is still one of the guys, which is a good thing because all my guy friends from high school are divorced and single. Story 27. You are going to tell him, she's going to guilt him about leaving her alone, and then he is going to start showing up less and less until you only ever hear from him in your group chat. Then one of three things will happen. They break up and you see him again, she makes friends of her own and you will see him again, or he marries her and that is life.